a big question today. How do you know if you're spending too much time on social media? This is a big question. Every week, I get a notification on my phone, the screen time notification, that tells me you've spent, X amount of hours per day on average on screen time, right? And at first, I have this like mini heart attack of thinking, how could I have spent this much time on my phone, right? And then I stop to process, is this worth it? What am I doing? And am I getting a return on my investment? So let's talk about that today. And I want to kind of jump in here and ask you, like, have you ever thought of that? Like, am I spending too much time on social media? Am I wasting my time? Now, this topic recently came up in one of my coaching programs. We were discussing my new book, The Implementation Code, and somebody brought up, could I be implementing too much, right? Spending too much time on something. I'm like, well, what, like, tell me more, right? She's like, well, what if I'm spending too much time on social media? All right, so let's discuss that. Okay, so Laura says, oh my goodness, I don't want to know. I know, but you know what, Laura? I'm going to make you feel better by the end of this, okay? So first of all, me personally, I do a lot of lives, right? So I'm live streaming this right now. I coach inside of my free foot traffic community Facebook group. I'll go live every Monday. I go live on my fan pages. I go live inside of my 30-day boot camp, my coaching programs, all of these things. And I remembered, okay, that is being taken into consideration, okay, when they're talking about my time. So if I'm on my phone recording a live stream for 30 minutes, then that's part of my average. So remember that when you're calculating it, okay? Now, if you're not really doing a lot of live streaming and you just are posting and it still feels very high, then definitely reassess, all right? Now, I did some research. I was like, what is the perfect number? Like, is there a number people say or you should be doing or any of that? So there was this one article, Vertical Response Survey, discovered that 43% of small business owners spend about 6 hours per week. So they're averaging like an hour and maybe 10 minutes a day. They're basically saying that people are spending on their social media. When we say on social media, I don't mean like on social media, like DMing. I'm talking on social media, producing content for your work, not consuming content. Big difference in producing versus consuming. So today we're talking about how much time should you be producing, right? So anyway, remember, that doesn't mean you should be spending an hour a day because that's what the survey said. That was an average, right? So here's what I want you to do to come up with your own custom answer that feels right for you and your business, okay? So what I want to ask you is, okay, cool, good or bad? Haley, we'll get there. So first, a couple questions. Why are you on social media? Like, what is the reason behind it? What is your end goal, okay? And then, are you getting a return on your investment? So let me help you figure that out. So let's talk about the why. Why are you on social media? And you guys, you don't have to tell me. Like, I want you to assess this for yourself and be honest with yourself. Is it for vanity metrics? Are you trying to hit 10,000 followers, a million followers, right? Like, what are you trying to do? Is it for vanity, for what we call like credibility sake? What are you looking to do? Is it for brand awareness? Maybe you want more visibility, right? Maybe your goal is driving traffic to products, programs, and services you sell. Maybe you're looking, I think I told you guys in the workshop, was this last week or 2 weeks ago? Somebody had said, like, we don't do social media to drive more traffic. We have plenty of traffic. We do it to have like more customer loyalty and more customer support, right? So that could be a reason for you doing it too. So there are all different reasons. And you need to first ask yourself, what is your goal? Do you even have a goal? Or are you just posting because you heard you're supposed to be posting, right? What are you trying to do every time? And maybe you're trying to do all four of those things, but every time you go to post or live stream or whatever it is, right? Ask yourself, what is the goal of this post? What is the goal of this live? Am I driving traffic? Is this brand awareness? Am I just trying to get my numbers up so I can say I have this many followers? What is it? Okay. So now when you know what your goal is, then you can actually start to assess if there's an ROI or not. You can actually say, are we achieving it? If we're trying to do brand awareness, well, are we getting a bigger following? Like, are we getting people to know about our brand, right? If you're trying to drive traffic to sell your products, programs, and services, did anything happen this week? Did you do a live stream and did you sell anything or did you not, right? These are things you want to be thinking about. Now, that's basically how you're measuring your return on your investment, your ROI, when it comes to social media. So don't let influencers or social media strategists influence you in a way that you're like, well, I have to post 3 times a day on Facebook between 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. because that's what I've heard, right? Decide for yourself, right? I still follow those people. I still let them educate me, but then I am the boss of my business, right? I'm the CEO. I decide what it is we want to try and experiment with. And that's what we're doing. We're experimenting. So we're going to try and just maybe we'll try the strategy 8, noon, and 4. And then we'll track and see, is it working? Did we get a return on our investment or not? Okay. So a few things that I want you to consider when you are starting to post, and I shouldn't say starting to, you've been posting, right? I hope you've been posting. But when you are starting to post now after you've heard this, right? I want you to ask yourself every time you go to post, what is the goal here? Like, what are we trying to do in this specific post? Okay. Then I also want you to be thinking about quality over quantity. Now, if you know me or you've been following me, you know I'm pretty frequent. I'm pretty consistent in showing up. I've been going live mostly because our new book just launched. So I've been going live with brand awareness, driving traffic to the book, right? That is my goal. But I'm not just going, oh, I have to sell books. So let's just show up today. And imagine if I came here today and I said to you guys, so what are you up to? What do you want to talk about today? Tell me more, right? No, like you have to have quality in what it is you're doing. So you can have quantity, you can go live frequently, you can have, a daily blog, you can do whatever it is when you do. You want to post 5 times a day on Facebook? Go for it. But they better be of high quality because you get one first impression, right? This made me, when somebody said this, I can't remember who said this, like years ago, I think I'm maybe even on a live stream, and somebody said, like, why do you always get dressed or get ready, or like you always look so good, or you're always so prepared? And whoever I was watching, it might have been Shalene Johnson. I don't know. I hate giving credit to the wrong person, but I hate not giving credit to. I think it might have been her. And she was like, because somebody right now is watching me for the first time, right? And she's like, every time I post, every time I go live, every time I send an email, right? Somebody is viewing for the first time, reading for the first time, seeing me for the first time. Okay. And she's like, I have to come with that quality, right? I can't just pop in and give a boring post or nothing to say and then people jump off. So think about that. Every time you show up, and it doesn't matter how frequent you want to go, but every time you show up, you better bring that quality. Okay. All right, cool. What platforms should you be on? That's another question I want you to ask yourself. So knowing what your goal is and what you're trying to do here, right? That's one thing you've already decided. Now, where should you be spending your time or energy? What do you want to be doing here? And then where are your customers, right? So somebody recently, I think this member is now inside of Foot Traffic Formula. She is in India, and she said, I want to get more United States target audience and more customers in from the US. How do I do that? And I said, well, first of all, you have to go where they are, right? You have to be where they are and when they are there. So if she's in India, I have no idea the time zone difference, but I can assume there's a very big time zone difference. And actually, I remember one time she asked our team to meet. It was like 1 a.m. here. We're like, oh no, we don't work at 1 a.m, right? Like we are figuring out the time zone for her. And I said to her, you have to be very conscious of where they are and when they're hanging out there. So if you want to attract more United States people, you better get on our time zones somewhere from Pacific to Eastern, right? You want to make sure that's what you're doing. So for instance, I am in Wisconsin. I always go live around my schedule in central time zone. And who do I attract? Well, I definitely attract a lot of people in the central time zone, right? Because it makes sense for them. It's when they're viewing. Now, does that mean I never get people from Pacific or from Eastern? No, of course not, right? But when you show up and when you go live or when you're posting or when you're doing it, right? And you want to attract more of those people, make sure you're doing it when they're there. So if she wants to be going live, she better be doing it in the United States time zone if she wants more of those people. Okay. And then here's what I want you to do. I want you to start to track. I want you to start to experiment. So the other day, last week Thursday, I went live at 8:30 in the morning. That is a very rare time for me. I never go live at 8:30. And it just happened because my schedule, I had Powerhouse. We were doing our mastermind virtual retreat. So I was booked from 9 to 4. And I said, okay, I'm going to go live at 8:30. It'll give me plenty of time to jump on, talk about it, and then run. Well, we had a lot of people joining us live. Now, yes, I know I had a big announcement and I told people about it, but I still want to test to see, wow, should I be experimenting with different times to see like when are my people showing up? What are they doing, right? If you're going live and one person's seeing it organically and you're not running paid traffic, it's probably not a good return on your investment, right? If I go live and no matter when I go live, I'm going to spend a few dollars putting money on that for video views and doing a Facebook ad campaign. I kind of don't care who shows up live or not, right? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, but we're going to put money on this and tens of thousands of people will see it, right? That's a different ROI than somebody who's like, well, no one's seeing it. It's only organic. And now it's just going down the feed and no one's going to watch it later, right? Maybe you're doing Instagram stories, right? Whatever it is, what is the ROI on what it is you are doing? Okay. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you think you might be implementing a little too much? Do you think maybe you are doing and not always getting a return on your investment? Okay. If you haven't grabbed your free copy yet of the implementation code, go do it. It's my new book that just came out last week. It's definitely going to help you as we navigate this fall. Like, what are we going to be working on? What should we be working on? What do we need to take off our plates? How do we make sure that we're actually getting things done and getting the results that you want? The book is completely free right now. Go to implementationcode.co/free book, implementationcode.co/free book. You just have to pay the shipping and handling, and we'll mail it out to you right away. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's live. I want to hear from you below. Are you spending too much time? Do you know what was your biggest takeaway from today? Let me know. Bye, everyone.